So here we've got a variety of different seals and O-rings. Let's have a look at them. First we have some O-rings, just regular old O-rings. Bigger ones, smaller ones. This one here is kind of the oddball. The sides of it are actually flat. That's how it comes new. This one's not worn, it's not smashed. That's actually how it's supposed to be. That's sold to be used in the ISO couplers on an 8000 series tractor. So those are all O-rings. Next here we have some backup rings. So the two orange ones are both solid. We've got solid and spiral backup rings. The two here that are solid, they're a little bit softer maybe than some of the others. This one right here is pretty hard. It's pretty hard compared to the orange ones. This one right here is called a spiral backup ring. It's curled like that. And if you look at the ends have kind of an angle cut onto them. And whenever this thing is installed, they should end up pretty close to each other. The next one here is called a packing. A packing is similar to an O-ring, except the cross-sectional view of it is square or rectangular. This would be like the gasket that's used on an oil filter, but this would be called a packing. Next over here we have some lip seals. It looks a lot like a packing, except it has a groove in one side. Okay, so that's a bigger one right there. That's from a header lift cylinder on a combine. This one right here is from an SCV. It looks like it's square, but it has a groove in one side. Something important to remember about these is that the lip side, so this side that's facing you right now, that side always goes towards the pressure oil. That way the pressure oil goes into the groove and it pushes out on the lips and makes them seal against the metal surface. So right here's another lip seal. You can see the groove in it there. The next one is called a quad ring. This one here I've cut in half so you can see what it looks like. The cross-sectional view of it has rounded corners and concave sides. Other than that, it's pretty similar to a packing, but that one is a quad ring. Next here we have wipers. Now remember, the purpose of a wiper is not to hold pressure oil. The purpose of a wiper is to keep the dirt and water out. So whenever this thing is correctly installed, the lip side, so the side facing up right here, the lip side faces out. This is the side that faces in. And there is a lip on it, but notice there's a notch right there. The notch is actually there to be an intended leak. If this would get pressure oil on the back side right here, then oil would leak past that little notch. It would push out on the lip and oil would leak out. So it's not meant to hold oil in. Its purpose is not for that. Its purpose is to keep the dirt and the water out. Here's another example of a wiper. You've got a lip on the outside and you've got a lip on the inside, and there's actually holes in it. This one has 3 holes. 1, 2, 3. And you can see light through them. I mean, they're not small holes really. There is a lip on the inside. Lip on the inside, lip on the outside. But the lip on the inside has holes in it, so if it gets oil trapped behind it, it's going to leak. This one right here is also a wiper. This one just has one lip on it. And the lip on this is pretty hard. It's not a soft rubber like some of these other rings are. Whenever this is installed, this goes for all the wipers. Whenever these are installed, the side with the lip that's going to seal needs to be facing away from the pressure oil. because remember, it's trying to seal the dirt and the water out. These right here are called wear rings. These are not seals at all, but they normally come in a seal kit. They're hard plastic rings, and they are normally split like this. That way you can expand that and put it onto the piston or rod or wherever this is going. But this right here just acts as a wear surface so that the metal parts don't run against each other. That is a wear ring. The next one down here, this is an assembly that you would use together. This would be a piston seal and a hydraulic cylinder. Sometimes this would be referred to as a cap seal. Basically what we've got is two separate backup rings, a packing in the middle, and then this piece right here is kind of a funny shape to hold everything together. It's sort of another packing, but it's shaped to hold all the rest of the pieces together. The next thing that we have is a spring-loaded lip seal. Let's look at an old one first. This is an axle seal from an old two-cylinder tractor. I don't know if you can tell what that's made out of, but the lip inside is actually made out of leather. This seal would be original from the 1940s. This is a spring-loaded lip seal. There's actually a spring down inside of there. It's kind of hard to see. But the lip is actually worn away on part of this. Needless to say, this was leaking whenever I took it out. Here's another example of a spring-loaded lip seal right here. You can see the spring on it pretty good. There's the lip, and there's the spring on the inside of it. The spring is there to help hold tension on the lip so it fits a little bit tighter on the shaft. Something you notice about this one is that there's actually sealer on the outside of it. Sometimes you can actually take your fingernail and you can scrape some of that sealer off. It's not hard like paint, it's just a little bit softer, but that is actually sealer that's installed from the factory. This one over here is another spring-loaded lip seal. This one is kind of hard to see the spring down in there, but this side right here, the spring side, goes towards the oil. The other side, there is no spring, and that is actually, that side actually acts like a wiper. Okay, so it has a lip on the outside and a lip on the inside. So, this is a variety of seals right here. Make sure that whenever you install a seal, that the hole that it fits into is nice and clean, that there's no burrs. It's always good to put oil or grease on a seal whenever you install it, like an O-ring, a lip seal, something like that. It's best to use the same type of oil that's in the system.